This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Good morning, friends. In this business intelligence master today, this is our 22nd session. How you can copy multiple loop and other activities. Okay, we already have seen, but previously we just have copied the multiple tables without updating the information, without sending the notification. Today, we're going to copy multiple tables, which is we are also going to configure the audit information. We are also covering the success notification and all those to configure the error notifications. Okay, let's see today what we are going to learn. In today's session, we are going to see scenarios. Okay, table syntax and examples, stored procedure. Okay, table dynamic content. We have tested the day before yesterday, and how you can extract the audit yesterday, right? Not dynamic content information. Next, body for logic app. Okay, so we are going to see body for logic app, how you can give the body for your logic app. We are going to see body for web activity. Okay, so we also have seen body for our web activity, correct, friends? So body for web activity means how you can pass the parameters which you are defined estimations for logic app. Next, so we are going to see how many activities, how many pipelines, and how many data sets, all those things is required. So estimations we are going to do, presets and required resources. These are the things we are going to see. To demo, we are going to see creating SQL database, creating tables in it, creating stored procedure, and creating the creating Azure data factory. We do use multiple data sets, pipe storage resource pipelines, debugging pipelines, running pipelines, and monitoring. Okay. Along with this, what else we are going to do is we are going to create the logic app as well. Okay, fine. How to copy multiple tables from Azure SQL database to the if table not available in source storage, it will cover. How to avoid running copy activity set. You know how to avoid running copy activity if table not available in source set. This scenario also we covered. How to metadata table, we are going to do that. We done that as well. Create and maintain metadata. We already log pipeline execution details to Azure SQL database on both failure and success scenarios of pipeline. Send notification using logic app on both failure and success. Lookup activity, we are going to use the which activity, get metadata activity, if activity, and copy activity, stored procedure activity. And the things we are going to use. So let's see the overview diagrams, web activity. So that you will have some idea. So lookup is going to point to the your metadata table. It is going to read all. Let's say we have customer table, EMP table, sales, and orders table. So all these tables information you will get. So where this data you want to load? I want to load it into blob storage. How you want to load? I want to load it as a CSV. Customer table I am loading as a customer.csv. EMP table I am loading as a emp.csv. Sales table I'm loading as a sales.csv, something like that. All these tables I'm loading into blob storage as a CSV files. These lookup output I will pass it to the for each activity. Okay, so in for each activity, how you will pass the lookup output to the for each, you know, at the rate activity of lookup dot output dot value. How many items will go to the for each now? 4 items will go into the for each. Inside for each, I will use the get metadata activity to check whether my source table existed or not. So if it is existed, this exist parameter will get true. If it is not available, exit parameter will have a false value. I will take get metadata activity. See what get metadata activity will do, dynamic data set to check table exists or not. Why it is a dynamic data set? Because you are going to pass table name one by one to the get metadata activity. In this, you are going to open the field list is exist. If the table is available, exist will return true. If the table is not available, exist will return false. Now in if activity, I will check something like this at the rate equals activity of metadata.output.exist, comma true. True is not in a single quote that we have seen last time. There was a mistake. Okay, it should not be in single quote. Okay, fine. Now what happens? You are going to check exist parameter return to true means you will get a true or false. If it is a true, inside true I will use copy activity. If copy activity succeeded, I will use a success stored procedure. If it is a fail, I will execute a failure stored procedure. Okay, the my table is not available. Okay, what I am going to do, I am going to execute something called inactive SP. What I am going to do, I will execute another stored procedure which is going to inactivate my table which is not available. So you understood example. One second. See here, cust ENP sales order. In this, sales table is not available. What get metadata activity will return false. So when I check this, here the if activity, if condition evaluates to false, I will come here and I will use this stored procedure to inactivate this particular record, because in my further process I'm getting this record again and again. Instead of that, I want to avoid processing this table. I understood this table is not available until unless our client confirmed or somebody confirmed. I want to inactivate this kind of tables which are not available in a source, but this particular information available in a metadata. So in metadata, I need to inactivate. How you will inactivate this? I want to automate. For that, I'm saying whenever my get metadata verified in source and it says this table is not available in the source, immediately I will inactivate this particular sales record in my metadata table. So that what happens next time when I try to copy data, so inactive tables, I will filter it out here itself, right? In lookup itself, I will filter out all the inactive records. Only I will take the active records. Okay, don't confuse. We will discuss all those things. Once this is done, maybe what happens is if the copy activities failed or succeeded, it doesn't matter. So if overall for each is succeeded, then yeah. So before that, see first for each has 4 items. First item I will pass it to the get metadata activity. From get metadata activity to verify whether it is existed or not. So you just send exist parameter value. I will verify in if condition. If condition will evaluate. So if it is returned true, if evaluates to true, if it is a true, I will exclude these. Next I will go and pick the next item. If this next item is not available, if it is a false, that false I will pass it here. Here I am checking whether it is a true or false. It's overall condition. If condition returns false, if it is a false, I want to inactivate the table, because get metadata is saying this table I verified in the database. In database it is not there, in your metadata it is there. So now I should not process this table further. That's why I'm inactivating. Next, pass the third table and pass third table results. Okay, if it is a true, here also if condition also evaluates to true, if it is a true, I will exclude copy activity, success stored person and the failure stored. Finally, fourth table I will pass. I will check whether it is existed or not. Let's say it is not available. I will go to false and I will execute inactive SP. Okay, something like that. My entire for each is executed. For each status will be succeeded or failure. So based on if any activity failed inside for each, your for each activity will show as failed. Remember, in anything failed in a copy act, like inside any activity something failed, the parent activity status will be failed. So that's why what I'm doing, for each activity status, if it is a failed or succeeded, if it is a succeeded, I will send a success notification. If it is a failed, failure notification I will send. Okay, so something like this. So whatever we have discussed as of today, as a overall we are going to develop pipeline today. Okay, fine. So copy data from SQL database to this one, in database I have first table, something like this. So if I want to move to blob storage, create linked service, create input data set, copy data, create output data set, connect to the blob storage and load the file into your blob storage. Azure integration runtime is going to do. We are going to, like, data factory will maintain all these things, right? So this flow. Next, lookup activity. Lookup returns list or first only, depends on the configuration as we discussed. Maximum of 2 MB of data it will return, or maximum of 5000 rows of data it will return. So first row, if you are asking only first, it will give only first row. If you are asking like all the values, then it will give you all the items. Lookup activity dot output dot first row means only this row. If you are asking activity of lookup activity dot output dot value means all the items will come. We discussed this as well. For each activity has a maximum batch count of 50 for parallel processing and maximum of 1 lakh items. So 1 lakh tables you can able to copy by using for each activity. Okay, next. batch count of 50 for parallel processing. 50 tables you can copy at a time parallelly. You can't next a for each loop inside another for each loop or an until loop. You cannot use for each loop inside until loop or inside for each loop. So if you want a nexted for each, inside for each, you want one more for each, then you need to implement something called master child relationship that we are going to discuss. Now you see lookup output. This is lookup output. Now I want to pass this output to the for each input. Now we will pass at the rate activity of lookup activity dot output dot value. See, this is the value. If you ask, if you give value, these two things will come here. Okay, so here this is one item, this is the another item. See here, this is one item, next this is another item. Okay, so first time, let's say in this I want to get ID. So in this item, if I want to get ID, what the dynamic content I need to use? Tell me, friends. If I want to get ID from this item, what I need to do? How can I read that?
Item.id.
Very good, item.id. Now table name, if I want.
Item.table.
Very good. So now, what is the item dot table name means? What value I will get if I ask item dot table one? Table.
Table
Item
1 we
dot.
will get.
Very good. So in this item table one, if you ask item dot ID one, if you ask item dot schema DB, you will get. Now if I move, so once you process first item, then for each will give you next item. You are going to use same dynamic content. When you say at the rate item dot ID, this time it will give you two. At the rate item dot table, if you ask, it will give table two. Okay, that we discussed. Get metadata activity. Get metadata activity takes a data set as an input, returns metadata information as output. It will take data set as an input and returns metadata information as an output. The maximum size of returned metadata is around 4 MB. When you want to validate the file, folder, or table exists, specify exist in the get metadata activity field list. You can then check the exists true or false result in the activity output, right? See something like this. For each will give you this item, for each will give you this item. In this, I will take DBO and table name. So then I will pass DBO dot table one, whether this is available in the database or not. If it is available, get metadata will return true. If it is not available, get metadata return false. Okay. So these two items. Now get metadata activity, something like this. If it is exist is true, if the table is available, it will be false if the table is not available. If activity, if condition activity provides the same functionality that an if statement provides in programming language, as we know. So it executes a set of activities when the condition evaluates to true, another set of activities when the condition evaluates to false. That we have seen, right? So now you see, get metadata returned true if get metadata written false. So I'm going to write a if condition saying that if get metadata returned exist, then my condition should be exist. Okay, if get metadata returned false, my overall condition should be false. Okay, so based on this, what happens if get metadata is returned true, if activity true, if get metadata written false, this is also going to be false, right? So now with this if activity is true, then inside true I will use copy activity, stored procedure activity, all those things. Now if you want to copy data, we need to have a tables ready, right? How to create table we know. So create table, table name, column one data type, column two data type, all these things. Create table cast, column names, data type, column names, data types. How to insert? There are multiple ways to insert, you know, by mentioning column names. Without mentioning the column names also you can insert the data. Now I want to read data from the table. Select star from cast, or if you want any condition, you can able to put those conditions as well. Now procedure syntax. How you will create procedure? Stored procedure syntax, something like this. It's a without parameter. Create a procedure, procedure name as begin, query, end. Example, create procedure, procedure name as begin. This is a query and end. Procedure syntax, procedure with parameters. See at the rate p1, at the rate p2 I have. These two I want to use in a query. How you can use example, you can see. Create procedure, this is my procedure name. 1 2 3 4 4 parameters I'm taking. These 4 parameters I'm going to use inside insert statements, insert into cust values. These are the values I want to insert into this cust table. Now you also have a one more thing for update. See, First procedure name at the rate PID and mobile number. If somebody has provided wrong number, if you want to update, you can give update customer table. I want to update. I want to update first phone number column with this value, which whatever value I am providing. So do you want to update for all the people or only for specific person? So specific person. So that's why you need to give the ID for that particular person. Now, dynamic content, these all things we discussed. Okay, name of the data factory, pipeline name, run ID, trigger type, trigger ID, trigger name, trigger type, status code, error. Next, we also discussed this. Rows copied, rows read, parallel used, parallel copies, copy duration, integration runtime, source type, sync type, start time, execution, start time, execution end time. Any doubts in this dynamic content? We discussed, but any questions, friends? As of now, anybody have any questions? Okay, now we will see table syntax, right? See, this is the table which I'm going to create for my pipeline log to store all this information. I'm going to create table something like this. Next, procedure syntax, right? Create a procedure name, all these are the parameters. Okay, so once you create all these parameters, say as begin, insert into pipeline log values, all these parameters I'm using insert to insert the record into pipeline log table, and that's all. Next, dynamic content for stored procedure, data factory name if you want, pipeline name, run ID, trigger type, trigger ID, trigger name, trigger type. Okay, rows copied, the number of records written into the destination, number of records read from the source, used parallel copies, number of threads, copy duration, time taken to copy date in seconds, integration runtime used, source type, it's a database or blob storage, same sync type, execution start time, what time execution started, end time, what time ended, status succeeded or failed, what is the succeeded, like status code, if it is succeeded 200, if it is failed, failure code, error message if something failed. Okay, so something like that, you will get all this information. Now in the same way, I want to send a notification whether it is succeeded or not. So what all information I want to use in my logic app is data factory name, email to subject, pipeline name, activity name, status, error message, something like that. You need to put all these are my properties. All these values I want to send it in my mail. Now body for web activity, if it is a failure, so you just have to pass here subject and error has occurred, pipeline name dynamically, activity name you can put status, the status you can put here, error message, the ADF pipeline has crashed, please check the log, something like that. Okay, if it is succeeded, pipeline finished, everything is okay, do okay. Okay, something. Estimations, how many linker service for each resource, one linker service, data sets we need to create as per the reference points, activities we need to use as per the logic, how many pipelines, one pipeline I will use today, what type of IR we are going to use, Azure integration runtime, because still we are copying data from cloud to cloud. Prerequisites. So what is Azure equal database? What is blob storage, logic app, Azure data factory integration runtime, linker service, data set, activities, and pipeline. So all these things we discussed. So I hope there is no doubts in this. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Required resources, I will go and create database, blob storage, data factory v2, logic app. Okay. These are the things I will discuss. Okay, clear friends? Okay. So come here. Let's quickly create one by one. 1 second. Okay, let's quickly create one by one. So I will not discuss much because it's a little bit huge concept that we need to discuss today. It will take anyhow too much time. So I'll quickly create all the resources because I already explained all the configurations or whatever options we have while we are creating. Okay, resource group, I say here cloud only BA master. Okay, here I can say cloud only BB. create new cloud SQL server. This is username. A password, just click OK. Okay, remaining things keep as is, click review plus create. Yeah, it is deployed. Now come to second tab, open here. Our source is ready. Now let's prepare our destination. Our destination is blob storage. Okay. Let's search for storage. Click on storage account. Click add storage account. So resource group name is Cloud Pandit BI Master Program. Inside Cloud Pandit storage. Click review plus create. Create it. Come here. Let's create our Azure Data Factory. Okay, so now what you can do here. Okay, storage account, everything is done. Now data factory. Let's create a data factory. Click on data factories. Click add to create data factory. Use same resource group. I can set Cloud Pandit. Git configuration. I will configure it later. Review plus create. Running final validation. Validation passed. You can create it. So final service that we need is we need to create the logical. Let's come here. Search for logic app here. Click logic apps. Click add to create the logic apps. Free trial is like resource group is this, and logic app I will say Cloud Pandit. Logic app. Region east to west, remaining things as it is you can keep. Validating, validation part you can create it. Okay, now see database is ready. Let's go and prepare our database first. Click go to resource. Set server firewall. Click add client IP. Then turn on this, save it. Okay, once it's saved, let's see here the status here successfully saved these details. Come back, take this server name to open Azure Data Studio. How many of you installed the Azure Data Studio? Anybody tried to install that? Anybody is having SSMS? Okay, don't worry. So, yeah. So today at least I will tell you how you can install this. This is just 100 MB. You can able to download. Just click review plus create, something like that. Okay. Agree terms and policies, something. Just click next, next, next. It will finish. Very easy installation. Okay. Okay. So how we will connect? So come to welcome. Here, just click on welcome tab. Here you have a something on new connection. Click on new connection. So here server name is this, Windows authentication or SQL authentication. SQL. Just I will say username is mine. Password I will just type here. Here database name, Cloud Pandit SQL DB. I think I have given. Let me just check it. Cloud Pandit SQL DB. Just paste it. Okay, just click on it. I connected. Now just expand this. Wait. See, just expand these tables. See, there is no tables. Okay, so that's why you can see there is no tables. I just expanded, but there is no tables in it. Now I want to create some 5 tables. So I will create. I have prepared all the tables, everything. I kept it ready because it is little bit. Okay, so I'm going to create these 5 tables. Now you see what 5 tables I'm going to create. Do one thing. Right click on this. Let me just close these things as well. What you do, right click on this database, click new query. Okay, here let me just paste all these 5 tables. See here what tables I'm creating. Table mistake, table name. So create table product, it's a sales, transactions, first ID, EMP. Okay, so in these all tables, something like product ID, product name, sales ID, store name. Okay, next transactions, TID, T amount, first CID, C location, EMP ID, EMP name. So here what I will do, sales IDs, just say sales ID, store name, something like this. So I have I'm creating 5 tables. In each table I'm including two columns. Okay, let's just run it. See, command completed successfully. Now just expand this, expand tables list. Right click on tables, refresh. See, 5 tables I got, whatever tables I created. Now we know we don't have any table, any data in these tables. Okay, randomly let me check. Select the star from first. See, you don't have any data. Even if you consider any table, you don't have any data. Okay, so I want to include, like I want to insert some data into these tables. For that, I have prepared even insert statements. I'll just share these things end of today's session. Please remind me. Okay, so this is product table insert statement, sales table, transaction table, first table, and EMP table. Just to take all these things, paste everything here. You see here we have 5 tables: product, sales, transaction, first, and EMP. Okay, let's run it. See, 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows. So in each table, 2 rows affected, meaning 2 rows we inserted in all the tables. Let's say select star from randomly. I will check 1 or 2 tables. Okay. CMP table is inserted with some records. First table inserted with some records. Okay. Next, sales table inserted with some records. You can see here. Okay, right. So we have all the tables is having two records. Fine. Now I need to create a metadata table. Isn't it, friends? We need to have a metadata table as well. Come back. I will explain you metadata table. Don't worry. Now you see I'm creating a metadata table. Create table metadata schema name. So you see the schema of all these tables is what? DBO. You can see that's why I included DBO. Next, what is the table name? Table name is product. Set product. This one is sales. This is transactions. Yes, transactions. Next, it's a cost. This is EMP. Next, blob container, where you want to load these tables. So in container side, like in blob storage, I want to create a product output container. In that container, I want to load this table data, product data. Sales output container, I want to put sales data. Transactions output container, I want to put transaction data, something like that, and so on. Now, final column is disabled, whether these tables are active or not. You see, product table, it's a inactive. Oh, sorry, it's a active. 0 means active. Okay, sales 0 active. This is 0 active. First, this is 1 means this table is inactive, meaning even though this table is existed, this table data we should not copy. That is the condition. Okay, EMP table. Okay, so EMP table also active, I can able to copy. Out of all these 5 tables, what table I should not copy? Only first table. So when I am reading these metadata information by using lookup activity, there itself I should filter it out. I should not pick this particular record. Okay, how to do that? You know, you have three options. You can use table, you can select query, you can write stored procedure, you can use. So in this, what you will use, friends? Will you use table or query or stored procedure to filter out that fourth record, that is cust record?
Query.
Query. Is it okay? So by using stored procedure, is it possible or not?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yes.
Remember, it is possible even with the stored procedure, but only with the table it is not possible. Table means with there is no condition here, so everything it will read. Table, if you select everything, it will read. Okay, so fine. Now I am just creating these two. Just run it. Oh, some syntax error. Can you quickly check it? Friends, where syntax error? Some commas, I think. Commas are missing. Let's run everything. Yeah, 5 rows affected. Okay. Now do one thing. Just right click on tables, refresh this. Come here, you see metadata table is ready. Let's select star from metadata. Run it. See, 5 tables came here. Is disable is 1. This is the record which is inactive. Now I want to prepare query here itself. How you can write? Where, very simple, right? Where is disable equal to 0. So I want wherever disable equal to 0, only those records I want. Maybe you can say something like this, not 1, not 1. You can also say, you can write query in multiple ways, but you will get same result. Okay, to get this result, you can write query in multiple ways. Understood, friends? You can use this query, or you can also write a query something like this, equal to 0, equal to 0. Okay, clear? I hope everybody clear. So I'm going to use one of this query. Okay, let me just keep this query somewhere here. Otherwise, let's keep this query here only. But I will just comment these things because these are useful things. We are going to use these things in our pipeline. Fine. Now we are good. So we have multiple tables. We are maintaining metadata table to understand what tables to pick from the database, where these tables we need to load in blob storage. Now, once copy activity is completed, for each table, whenever I copied, I want to track how many records I copied, or like what else, how much time it took to copy this particular table, all those things I want. For that, I'm going to create a something called a meta, like pipeline log table. Okay, so here you can see I have a pipeline log table. Let me just create this. So let's check once again. Let's verify pipeline log. Data factory name is a varchar 500. Varchar 500, run ID like varchar 500, source, okay, varchar 500, destination varchar 500, trigger type is varchar 500, time, name, trigger time, everything is fine. Here rows copied is int. Okay, next rows read is int, number of parallel copies int, copy duration in seconds. This, if you want, you can able to go with the int, right? So let's go with int. We know this is a just a number of seconds you'll get. Integration runtime varchar 500, good. Source type varchar 500, varchar 500 sync type. This is start time, date time, end time, date time. Execution status is execution status. Sorry, friends. Okay, see now. Copy activity start time, copy activity end time, execution status varchar 500, execution status code varchar 500. You can give error message varchar 500. Okay, everything else is fine. Let me create a table with these details. Okay, just click run. Where is the mistake? Error message. Oh, I just selected error message. That's the mistake. Just run it. Don't select anything. Just run it. Yeah, table is created. Let's refresh this table list. Just check. Pipeline log table is also available. But let's see what content, what data we have in this pipeline log table. You see, we don't have any data. Pipeline underscore log. Just run it. See, you don't have any data. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to create a stored procedure. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to create a stored procedure. Let's see how to create stored procedure. So this is the stored procedure. Let's copy this, put this here. Now you see, create proc procedure name, data factory name varchar 500, pipeline name varchar 500, run ID varchar 500, source type, destination type, trigger ID, trigger name, trigger time. Trigger time, what we have created, trigger time is date time or what? So you can verify the data types here. Just expand these columns. You can see trigger time is varchar. So here also varchar, rows copied int. See here also int. So copy duration we have changed it to int. So let's change here also int. Okay. Next, effective integration runtime varchar 500. So source type varchar 500, date time, other things are see here. Varchar 500, this one. This is also varchar 500. This is also varchar 500. All these things I am using inside this insert statement to insert the record into pipeline table. Just select this and run it. A stored procedure is created successfully. Where we will see stored procedures which are created, go to stored process, see pipeline underscore log underscore USB, which we have created with same name. You can see. Okay. Clear. Stored procedure also ready. That's all you need to do with respect to your source. Now you prepared your source. Your source is ready now. Okay, clear or any confusion, friends? Yeah, I understood because I'm going a little bit fast today because everything I covered, nothing new here. So, and Avinash, from chat window, friends, at least.
Yeah, Malaya, this
Fine.
procedure and the log table has used in previous auditing, right? Auditing table. Hello.
Good job. Can you ask me now? I think CB1 you are asking.
Yeah, this procedure and that log table we used earlier in auditing, right?
Yes. Same
Okay.
we are going to use today also for auditing only.
Okay. So again, you have created new database or what? Because if you create the same thing, it will throw error, right?
When you joined. Are you there from the beginning or you joined just now?
Oh yeah, I joined in the middle. Sorry to interrupt.
So I cannot do anything. So that's what I said. So
Actually,
here
I
what
logged in from the
I
other
have
link.
built from the scratch.
Yeah.
So any questions, friends? Anybody is not able to understand, please let me know. Okay, okay, fine. So everything is ready with respect to source. I'm going to the destination, go to resource. Just click on containers. See my blob storage. I don't have any folders. Come to data factory. Let me open data factory now. Please practice previous sessions, friends. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand anything in future, because even you will have a complex pipelines will come in the future if you're not able to understand these small things. But just see linked service, click new, and basically SQL database. My source is SQL database, so I'm just creating one linked service for SQL database. Continue. You know all other things. I'm just quickly selecting retrieve server is this, database is this. Test connection. Okay, let me just check my password once. Let's see why it is failing. Okay, I think issue is not that our service is, our database is not responding to it. And let me see. Okay, let's do one thing. Without testing also, you can able to go and access the data. Okay. So when you are testing, it is like it is not responding. That's okay. You just create it. Okay. How we will know whether it is really established the connection or not? I will tell you. Even if the test connection, it is throwing some timeout error. It's not a failure. It's a timeout error. So your this data factory is not able to get the response in the um, defined time. So maybe you have some 60 seconds to get the status, but it is not getting the status. So that's why it is getting failed with the timeout error. What happened? Everything is very slow today. So let me just do one thing. Let's cancel this. Let's click new once again. SQL database, continue. Subscription is free trial, server is this. database is this, username, test connection. Same timeout error, fine. Let's try to create this time. Yeah, it's created. Okay, so I will tell you how you can verify whether it's established the connection or not. Let's create the linked service for blob storage meanwhile. So you know blob storage, right? ls iphone Azure blob storage. So just use account key, subscription is there, storage account name is cloud funded storage. See, now it has created previous one also. Let me just delete this previous one. I have only this. Just click new blob storage, continue. ls iphone Azure blob storage. Come down, select your storage name, cloud funded storage. You no need to test the connection. Okay, just create it. Come to author tab. We'll check whether it is working or not. 1 second, come back. Something it is showing. This is okay. I think let's click publish all. See, when you publish, that is gone. Okay, you need to create one. You understood why it has happened? Because what happened is previously we have created something and we cancelled in the middle. So that was not published, but it is simply created. And one more I created, and it was created successfully. But what I have done, as I have seen two linked services, I have deleted the one which is published, and the not published one I have not deleted. So now when I published, not published linked service is vanished. Okay, it will go. Now you need to create the linked service again for your database. Select Azure SQL DB. Come down, subscription, you can select server name is this, database name is this. You don't test the connection, you can create it directly. It is created now. Come to author tab. Now we have created two linked services. Let's create a new pipeline. Real data multiple table copy. Okay, multiple table copy. This is okay. This is the name of my pipeline. So we know first activity that we need to use is what? Lookup activity, right? So just bring the lookup activity. So now we can test whether it is here. Lookup is basically to lookup get table list. It is going to get the table list. Now come to settings. So where you have tables, see first row only. Do you want first row or all records? We need all the records. Let's select all. Just click new. So your metadata is available in a SQL database. It is SQL database. Continue. This is what DS for get get table list. This get table list ds for edges equal db. A data set for edges equal db. We are creating this data set to get the table list. So now I will use the existing linker service. See, this is the linker service. Now it is going to show the table list. If it is showing table list means your connection is established successfully. So there is no issues with connection. Okay. Now you see you are able to see. Now do you want to select table? No, I don't want to select table. I want to fire a query. Just click OK. I want to write a query, not a table. What kind of query? So that query we formed here and we kept it ready, right? Just take one of these. Copy this and paste it here. Let's preview data. What data it is returning, we can preview. See, these are the records I'm getting. I'm not getting all the records. Now, come here. For each activity, I need to use go to iterations, bring the for each activity. Okay. Now, how to pass the lookup output to for each? So let's execute only lookup to test how it is returning the values. Okay, let's debug lookup. It is succeeded. Now you see output side you have a count and value. So I need to say lookup activity dot output dot value to pass all these items. This is one item, this is second item, this is third item, this is fourth item, and you have total 4 items. Now remove this breakpoint. Click on for each. So for each table I need to iterate for each table. The settings. So do you want to execute them sequential or parallel? So as I said, up to 50 tables you can execute parallel. So now you see 50. It is not going, but come down. Yes, you can able to. Okay, up to 50. I don't have 50 tables. I will just go with sequential for now as well. Okay, items. How you will pass item? Just add dynamic content. This lookup output dot value. Okay, finish it. Go inside for each. So first activity that we need to use is get metadata. Okay, where is get metadata? Go to general here, get metadata, bring get metadata activity. So here this is check table exists, right? So now I need to create a data set. So this data set should receive the dynamic parameters. Okay, just click new data set. So where you want to verify your table is existed or not in database. So SQL database, click continue. This is ds for edges equal db. Okay. Table. So same data set you can use even in your copy of source. I will use source. Use this linker service. Now do you want to select a table? So if you select one table, always you'll have one table. I want to pass table name dynamically. That's why just click OK. So how will you create the dynamic parameters? Just go to this data set, click on data set, click parameters, click here 2 parameters. One is you need to take schema name. Second one is you need to take the table. Now come to connections, click edit. Let's select here to select a schema name. Click finish. Click here, add dynamic content here to select the table. Click finish. That's all. Okay. Now this is ready. Come back. See, schema name and table names are waiting. So I will pass. So from the item, if you do one thing, come back. So click on this. Click on pipeline lookup output. From this, let me just take all these items. And let me just keep all these things here. So in this item, if I want to take schema name, what I need to do @ schema name. In this, if I want to take table name, what I need to do @ table name. So same thing, I'm going to pass it here. Go inside for each. For each will give you item. In that item, I want schema name. Then I need to say item dot schema name. Schema name. Table name. If you want table name @ item dot table name. Okay. So this is how you need to ask so that it will pass. What you want to check. So field list is I want to check exists, whether it is existed or not exists. Okay. This exist parameter is returning true or false. How you will know? Okay. Let's just click debug as of now, whatever we developed. I'm just running all the things, whatever I developed as of now. So get metadata, like get table list, it will give all the 4 tables to the for each. For each will pass one by one item to these get metadata activities. See, dbo.product it passed. Next it passed some other table. What it is? dbo.sales. Refresh this to see. Here you see dbo.transactions. Here dbo.tnp. So likewise, one by one I have passed to the get metadata. What get metadata return exists, returned true. Here also check what it returned exists, true it returned. What it returned here exists, true. So all these tables are available. Go inside for each. So get metadata output, I need to check what it is written. How you will verify? If condition should evaluate this. Okay, pause this. If table exists, okay, something like this. Now I need to write the condition. Come to activities, put this, add dynamic content. What content? You need to check the equals condition. Equals. Okay. So say here equals. Okay. Say here equals. Unless you no need to check all these things basically, right? So what you can do basically, you no need to check all those things. Simply you say get metadata output dot exists. That's all. You no need to do anything. So if it is returned true, expression will be true. If it is returned false, expression is going to be false. That's all. You no need to check if equals, so why you need to do all those things. Simply do this. Okay. Simply return. Now if it is a true, if get metadata is returned true means this condition evaluates to true. Go inside true. What I want to use, I want to use a copy activity. Expand this, bring the copy data activity. So where you want to copy data? I want to copy data to the from SQL database. So from SQL database, I want to pick what is your table name. You know, from this same item dot schema name I need to pass. Here I need to say @item dot table name I need to pass. Okay. Now come to sync. Where you want to load this data? I want to load data into blob store. So let's create a blob data set. How do you want to load JSON? Continue. Say DS for edge blob storage as a sync. Let's select this linked service. I don't want to select container name because I want to create a containers dynamically. So let's open this sync data set. Let's create a one parameter. What is that parameter? This parameter should be a container name. Container. You just put container. Come to connection. Let's use that here container. Okay. I'm using this. Go to pipeline. Here I need to give the container. How you will give? Just for each, right? So see, for each is not available directly here, but it will be available. Data will be available. You just say item dot container name. So you just check in this. In this, if you want container name, you need to say blob container, not container name. Item dot blob container. If you ask item dot blob container, it will pass this. In this item, if you ask item dot blob container, it will pass this thing. So that's how I am going to pass one by one. It will copy the data. Once it is copied data, I want to use a stored procedure to update my audit logs. Bring the stored procedure activity. Just put something like this. Yeah, let's prepare first one. This is a success SP. Let's give it as a success SP. Come to settings. Let's use the existing connection. Let's select the stored procedure which we have. Let's import all the parameters. Okay. So I know most of these things. I will just select quickly all of these. Let's keep this save something. Let's do one by one. Click on copy activity anytime. How you will know copy activity anytime? Just select copy activity dot, you need to say not output or not on output. Anytime we'll get here only execution in the time you can ask. Finish. Yesterday I have shown you everything, okay, in detail. So start time, how will you get start time? Just click on this execution click finish. Next, copy duration in seconds. You know, this is available on the activity directly, or it is also available on output dot copy duration. Finish it. No data factory name, just click here, click add dynamic content, select data factory name. Finish it. I want destination. So how do you know what is your destination? Your destination, you need to say item dot your destination is basically blob container. Item dot blob container. Next, effective integration runtime. You know, add dynamic content. You need to say come down. Just click on effective integration runtime, add dynamic content. So effective integration runtime is nothing but just click on output dot effective integration runtime. Just ask effective integration runtime. It will give you integration runtime. It has used to copy data. Error message. You know how you will get error message. Just directly, not on phone, directly you can say error. Finish it. Come down. Execution status. How will you get execution status? Copy activity dot status. Just finish it. How will you get status code? Just paste your status code. That's all. Used number of parallel copies. You just have to say output dot used parallel. What is the parallel copies? So I just have taken those things as a parallel copies. Okay, just execute it. Now go down slowly. Here pipeline name, you know the pipeline name how you will get. So this is the pipeline. Come down. Rows copied, you know. Rows copied. You just have to ask an output dot rows copied. Just finish it. Come down. Rows read. Rows read. How will you decide? Copy active dot rows read. Click finish. Run ID. Just click on this. Add dynamic content. Pipeline run ID. Select it. Sync type. How will you get sync type? Just add dynamic content. Come down. Output dot execution details. In this first item, in this sync dot type. If you ask sync dot type, it will give you the type of sync. Just finish it. Come down. So source. What is your source? Your source is @item dot. Okay, just I am giving the table name, not a like I am not taking the schema name. I'm just taking the table name, which table I copied. Okay, how will know which table? So this is the table name. Yes, I am using item dot table. Source type. So source type exactly same add dynamic content. Just paste this. Instead of sync, you just have to put here source. Just click finish. Come down. Trigger ID. All these things are available, so you can directly access trigger ID. Is this one. Trigger ID is this. Click finish. Trigger name. Select it. Come down. Trigger time. So trigger time is going to be this one. Just select this. Click finish. Come down. Trigger type. Trigger type is basically something else. Click finish. Okay, I have given all these things. This is our success SP. Now Same way I will just clone this. I will just clone this. Cloned copy. Now I want to execute this on failure. Okay, this is failure or failed SP. I'll just mark it here. Failed SP. So in whenever it failed, the number of records read, number of records written will not come. So that's why I'll just mark them as a null. Rows copied and rows copied and just treat as a null. Okay. So rows copied, rows read, I am treating as a null. So I just auto align this. Right click auto align. So it is aligned properly. Now come out. So here I want to use a web activity. I want to use here web activity to call my logic app. But we have not prepared our logic app. Let's quickly go and prepare our logic app. Okay, before we do it, let's come here. Logic app is ready. Just click on go to resource. Click logic app designer. Let's select a blank one. Don't select your existing templates. Come down, select blank logic app. Yesterday we created HTTP trigger request. An HTTP request is received. So here you need to pass your body. So what I will do, yeah, let's write it. If I'm writing, it will take some time for me again. Waste. So we'll do quickly one thing. You just copy paste from the slides. Even I don't want to take all of these because it's anyhow. Yesterday we have seen those things. So what I will do, I'll just say data factory name, email to, pipeline name. What is this subject? This is also not required. Email to, pipeline name, activity name also I don't want to take, only just status, overall status, and if at all any error message, some error message if you want to pass, you can pass. Otherwise, you can just remove that as well. Let me just correct these things. Status, I just want to send the status. Okay. Status, you remove this. This is okay. Comma. Only these 4 parameters I'm just taking and configuring. Let me just put these things here. Okay, so just save it. Something wrong, that's why it is thrown. Yeah, these codes actually I will edit all these things in my PPT. So if I edit everything in PPT, some this double code some issue. Okay, now it is resolved. Fine. Now what method? Whenever we are posting something, we are like sending some data, we need to go with the post method as we discussed. Now you save it. So once you save it, see URL is generated. That URL I will take later. Let's define the second step. My second step is to send a mail. What mail you will send? Gmail I want to send. Just click Gmail. You come here, send email. So we need to sign in first. Okay, let me just sign in quickly. So I'm just clicking on cloudpandit@gmail.com. Just hello. Okay, I think it is connected. It is creating this. Yeah, it is fine. So see, connected to cloudpandit@gmail.com. So from this mail, we are going to receive the mails. Okay, fine. Now, if you want to change the connection, you can change it. But now, I think I have not taken email to also. Yeah, I have taken email to. Fine. Now you see email to whom I want to send mail. Just click see more. Just click email to. So to this person, I want to send the email. What else you want to take? Subject and body I want to take. See? So in subject, what I will do is I'll just say pipeline name, okay, colon, I'll say pipeline status. Okay. Now inside body, just say your data factory name and all those things. I can say data factory name, pipeline, pipeline name, status. So something, whatever you want to put, you can put. Now let's say data factory name. See more, click data factory name. Click in pipeline name, just select pipeline name. Come to status. Let's select here status. Okay. So this with this you just save it. Let's go to HTTP. Copy this URL. This URL is required. Come to pipeline. In this success web, success notification. In the success notification, I will just post this is the URL. Next, this is the post method, and this post method required all these parameters. What parameters you need from here? Here, so for all these things, you need to pass the value. Data factory name, you need to pass the value. Email to, you need to pass the value. Pipeline name, you need to pass the value. Okay. For type, you need to pass the value. All other things can remove. For all these parameters, you need to pass the values. Let me just quickly do this. So email to, I'll just configure to my mail only. And let me just say here, my mail I will say. Perfect. Yeah, data factory name, pipeline name, status, I will get dynamically. How will you get pipeline name dynamically? You know, right? So I will get just click on add dynamic content. So data factory name, if you want, this is the data factory name. It will give you data factory name dynamically. Just have to use here. Curly braces are mandatory. If you're not using curly braces, it will not give the correct result. Pipeline name, how will you get pipeline name? Just select pipeline. There is the pipeline name. Just put here. This should be comma separated, all these things. And finally, you need to end it with the curly braces because this should be in a JSON format. Here, final status. So status of what? Status of what? Status of your yeah, status. Anyhow, you can hard code it because it's we are using 2 times that failed. Failed. Yeah, it is basically succeeded. Just to take this. Just put these things. Okay, finish it. This is for success notification. Let's clone this. I want to send on failure scenario. Failure. So this name of this web activity, let me change it to the failed notification. Failure notification. One change that we need to make is here the status we need to mark it as a failed because this should be failed. Just click finish. Okay, just auto align, right click, click auto align. So everything will come in a proper. Okay. Now I want to run my pipeline. Let's click debug. Okay, your for each is running, it verified get metadata, it returned true. So it is going to the failure notification directly. One second. Where I configured failure notification check tape. One second, let me just cancel this. I should configure those things here. I think where I configure. Not here, right? I should not configure these things here. Okay, fine. Let me see. I need to configure here after for each, right? So let me just put way back to T. See, way back to T. What happens if you put this way back to T inside inside for each is for each table it is going to send a notification. I don't want to send the notification for each table. So overall, as a overall pipeline execution, I want to receive the mail. That's why. Okay, way back to T. This should be success. Success notification. Come to settings. So here I need to put the URL. Copy this URL. Come back. Just put this URL here. Next state method is post. Here body. Body is what? Body is this one. If it is a succeeded, this is the one. Just paste this. That's all. Now in the same way, if it is failed, if it is a failed, what you need to do, just clone this. Failure. So just click on this. Let's rename it to failure notification. Copy notification. Settings, everything is same except let's remove this everything. Let's come back for failure. What you need to do, same content, only changes failed. Copy this. Now right click, let's say auto align, everything is aligned. Now before I run it, I think if condition is failed, if condition is failed, I want to check the expression exist cannot be evaluated because property exist does not exist. Get a table list of what? Oh shit. Okay, go inside this and this. So this condition is little bit wrong. Now you remove it. So your get metadata activity name is what? Your table exists. This is the one. Output dot. You have to ask exists. Click finish. Now come back. Now you debug. First activity is check table existed or not. Yeah, copy activity is running. Copy activity is succeeded. Stored procedure is running. Stored procedure is succeeded. Okay. So now web activity will not be called. Web activity will be called on overall status. So now you see another table, get metadata, picked another table, it verified, it copied another table, like stored procedure is, it ran stored procedure. So one by one, it is quickly doing all those things. So quickly it is updating everything, right? So as a overall, so once overall status for each activity status is succeeded, it will trigger a success web activity. It will call, otherwise it will call the failure web activity. See now overall, like for each is going to be succeeded because everything is succeeded. See now pipeline is succeeded. See now success notification is executed because everything is succeeded. Now go here, let's say select star from pipeline underscore log and run it. Now you will see 4 records. Why 4 records? Because see, this is for product, this is for sales, this is for transaction, this is for EMP. So everything came here. Okay, so overall status is succeeded. Now you see way back to the success notification is triggered. Okay, let me just open my mail to show you whether it triggered success notification or not. See here, so these are basically previous one, okay, but this one succeeded. Recent one, this is the recent one, 1 minute ago. Okay, so pipeline, all these things succeeded, and the data factory name, pipeline name. You see, this is the like pipeline name. This is succeeded status. Okay, let's go and replicate our failure scenario. Okay, so failure scenario is little bit difficult because we are handling all the failure scenarios. But let me just think how I can fail the table. Yeah, so how can I failed my table is only the way is go inside for each. So get metadata is verifying whether this table is existed or not. If it is existed, then only I am coming and trying to copy this data. Now what I need to do, go inside this table, copy data. Okay, come here. All these things are okay. Query. I'm going to write a query. This query is something like this. I'm going to write something. See, query I will write is select CID from @item dot table name. You understood? This table name I will get dynamically. This table name I will get dynamically. Now what happens? Select CID from this table. So if you pass product table, in product table you will not have CID. If you pass EMP table, you will not have CID. If you pass customer table, let's see here. Here you see in a customer table you have CID, meaning only this table will succeed and remaining tables will fail. Okay, we'll see when remaining tables fail means overall status of pipeline is failed, and we should get the failure notification. Let's debug it. Even we should get now stored procedure failed SP should run. We'll verify all those things now. Copy activity should fail now. Yes, it is failed. Okay, so failed SP is running now. You see failed SP is running. Failed SP should be succeeded now. Yeah, it is succeeded. Failed SP. Now for second table. Okay, second table, check table is existed or not. Cute. Copy data one is executing. Okay, this is also failed. Only one copy activity will succeed because only in cust table we have a cust dot. CID column is there only in cust table. So only one copy activity will succeed. Now we'll check that. I think this is a final copy, like final table will. Oh, I think everything is going to fail because this custard table is inactive, right? This custard table is inactive, the table itself not available. So all copy activity will fail. Don't worry, even if everything is failed, our failure notification it should trigger. Now everything else is correct, right? Because custard table is inactive, so that table is not available. It is not processing. See, now all the tables fail. Now failure notification will trigger. It will trigger failure notification. See, failure notification it triggered. It triggered failure notification. We'll go and check whether I received failure notification or not. Yeah, see, I received the failure notification. Failed. This is the table. Okay, so I'm able to get all those things. Okay, clear, friends. Any doubts? Any questions or any doubts? Okay, if no doubts, then that's all for today, friends. Okay, thank you all. Thank you.